Reanne, are we allowed to call you a veteran of the played here before?
Well, I feel that old, so I'll let you do it.
What year did you actually play here?
I was 16. It was my first ever event. Got to the semi-finals. Got to play the dream of snooker, and I've really enjoyed my seasons through. And now back here after all these years, and it's brilliant to be back.
You've pretty much achieved everything there is in the game. The most decorated women's snooker player ever more. What still drives you on? Is it to get the chance to play at places like this?
Yeah, we went through a few seasons where everything was played at the venues where we was at, like clubs and everything, and to get to play at venues like this, like the men get to play in, and the professionals, it's absolutely fantastic.
Got a tough match coming up, obviously a repeat of the world final in Thailand from a few weeks ago. Just how good is Mink?
Yeah, she's improved from day one. She has improved immensely. Shot selection is getting better as well. Her cue action's really good. Her mannerisms around the table, her attitude, everything about her is all good signs for her future.
Okay, well, have a good match, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you very much.
I'm here with Mink. Now, we know your English isn't fantastic, but you've come all the way from Thailand to play here at the Crucible Theatre. How excited are you?
I'm very exciting, and I'm proud to be here. Yeah.
Can we expect a 147 break today?
I will can my best, and I can. Yes.
You are playing Reanne Evans, so is she somebody you like as a snooker player?
Yes, she very strong and she play very good. I like she, and I'm very happy can play she again.
Thank you for your time. Good luck in the Crucible.
Good morning, everyone, for a very, very special snooker event. The Women's Tour Championship, live from the Crucible Theatre here in Sheffield. Our first match this morning, our first player has come all the way from Thailand. She's 19 years old. She made the first verified 147 break in women's snooker history. Will you please give a huge welcome to Mink? Next up, what can you say about this player? The most decorated women's snooker player in history. World number one, the current world women's snooker champion. From Dudley, Reanne Evans. All the
players in the world. We have two semi-finals and the final to bring you live here this morning. Reanne Evans, the 12 times world champion, the most successful player in the history of women's snooker, is going to get us underway. She's playing a 19-year-old from Thailand, Nutcharut Wongharuthai, also known as Mink, as you heard from the introductions. And she made the first verified 147 by a female player in Bangkok in March. I'm Dave Hendon. I'm delighted to say I'm joined by Michael Day, who works with women's snooker. First thing to say, Michael, is it's a huge occasion for these ladies playing here, of course, at the Crucible.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity for the female players this morning. It's look, you know, this is the home of snooker. This is our Wembley, our Lords, our Wimbledon, and it's fantastic that the women players this morning and tomorrow, the disability players, are going to have the opportunity to play here.
Yeah, just sort of observing the players backstage practicing, you could sense a little bit of tension in the air because of where they are. Reanne Evans has played here, as she said in her interview before, but it was many years ago when the Women's Championship had the semis and the final, played at the Crucible.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think back when she played here last, I think it was a two-table setup because it was sort of during the early stages of the World Championship. So obviously playing in the one-table environment is going to be a lot different to the last time she played here. But this is very much sort of a clash of the present. Like you say, Reanne's the current world champion, 12 times world champion, and the future with Nutcharut, only 19 years old. And we heard on the introductions there that she made a 147 break in practice a few months ago. So she's definitely the future of women's snooker.
Yes, I mean, Reanne's only 33, but she's won 12 world titles. She won all of them from 2005 to 2014. Then again, 2016, then again this year. That was a chance to get going. It's table a little awkward already, the pink and black a little bit tied up. Just to say about the format, it's best of 3, but if it were to go one each, the decider would be a respotted black for the semi-finals.
Yeah, because it's such a short format, I think it's obviously crucial to settle in as quickly as they can. And whilst they'll enjoy the experience, they'll be anxious to obviously do themselves justice here. Obviously, Reanne does start as favourite, but Mink is very capable of overtaking.
Yes, she got to the world final this year where Reanne Evans beat her 6-3, but she's only been playing couple of years in professional events on the ladies tour. First event was the World Championship 2 years ago, joined the tour last year, but clearly improving all the time. In that 147, that was filmed, it's on YouTube, and you could see her delight at the end when the final black went in, jumped up in the air.
Yeah, it's quite a video to watch if you haven't already seen it. It was fantastic to actually see what it meant to her when she finally potted the final black. I know she said even though it was a simple black, you know, obviously the nerves and being on camera, it obviously meant a lot to her.
Yeah, that was in the high-end club in Bangkok where they played the World Championship earlier this year, where Evans beat her in the final. So as I said, pink and black a little awkward. She's been relying on blues so far. Yeah, trying to screw back there and has miscued.
Mink 12.
Yeah, it's just gone a little bit scrappy with the pink and black out of commission currently.
One.
Well, in potting that red, she just cannoned into another one, so not ideal now on this blue. Looking to avoid bulk colours as well. She's played it pretty well.
What we have noticed during the World Seniors over the last couple of days, table was very, very quick. So we do go to some very, very nice clubs and venues on the women's circuit, but under the TV lights and in front of the audience, this is very different to what the women players have experienced before.
Yeah, and this is a short match, so there's not a lot of time really to get used to the pace of the table.
Reanne Evans 6.
Reanne Evans won 6 of the 8 ranking events on the ladies tour last season. And returned to world number 1. On Yi, who we'll see in the next match, was threatening her supremacy, but Reanne Evans delighted to get her world title back.
Yeah, I know that meant a lot to Reanne to get back to world number 1, because On Yi was world number 1 for a small stint. First Asian women world number 1. And like you say, we will see On Yi later on. She won 3 out of 4 world championships. But now Reanne's back at the top of the tree, world champion and world number 1.
Foul and a miss. Reanne Evans.
Well, she
4.
got very close to just flicking that red as intended, but you often see first attempt at that sort of shot, the players will err on the side of caution because you don't want to hit it too thick and leave reds on. Just trying to flick off the red. Louise Kratz is the referee.
yeah, it's a bit like a practice swing, isn't it? The first shot, you don't want to sort of butcher the shot and hit it too thick and leave someone like Reanne in the ball. So got to play this well, trying to hit this thin and bring the white back into somewhere into bulk, somewhere into the top half of the table.
Just slightly too thick, but it's okay, I think. I don't think there's anything on here. I think what is noticeable, Michael, now, the top 4 players who we've got here, 2 of them are non-British, from, of course, Thailand and Hong Kong, which points to the sort of globalisation of the women's game. There's a lot of events, and indeed the World Championship, of course, itself was in Thailand. A lot of events now around the world.
Yes, yeah, the women's circuit itself. I mean, we've got events obviously in the UK, mainland Europe, events in Asia, like you say, the World Championship was in Thailand, events in Australia as well. So you know, it is a real sort of global tour. The World Championship just gone in Bangkok, and the high-end club there was I think there was 15 different nationalities represented, and you know, from countries that you might not necessarily associate with snooker. And we had players from Japan, Russia, even Iran. It's quite amazing, really, actually, what the progress that's been made in the last sort of 4 or 5 years with the circuit. It's in a, you know, there's a long way to go, but the circuit's in a really healthy place compared to what it was sort of 6-7 years ago. And obviously that's bolstered with the young sort of talent that we've got coming from places like Thailand. Yeah, it's a really exciting few years ahead for the women's circuit.
Well, things have opened up a little bit now in this frame. The black and the pink are now out in the open, so maybe a question of who can get in first now. Oh, that was a handy little flick on the yellow. She holds her hand up to acknowledge a little bit of fortune there, because she's snookered her opponent on all the reds. And of course, in a very short match like this, a little bit of luck like that could be big. If Mink leaves her in here, then Reanne Evans with a chance to win the opening frame.
I think it's quite tricky to actually sort of pick a red out where she can get a safe off. There isn't sort of like a cluster of reds she can sort of roll up to, so she's got to be quite careful here that she doesn't sort of leave Reanne an opportunity. Like we mentioned, the pink is out now and the pink spot's free. The black's a little bit freer than what it was a few minutes ago, so Mink will be conscious that she's got to play this pretty well. It's a pretty good response, although she has, I think, left Reanne a shot into the bottom right-hand pocket as we're looking at it. But I think it's a little bit difficult to get the cue ball out for a colour, so that was a great effort from Mink.
Yes, Mink's never beaten Reanne Evans, so it's a big occasion not just to be here at the Crucible, but to be playing the number 1, the world champion. Well, it's her turn to have a bit of luck, the fluke, and not only that, she's on this yellow, or possibly the pink to the middle, but anyway, she held her hand up as well.
Yeah, like you said, Dave, that could be in such a short format match like this, and like I said, the balls are a little bit more open than what they were a minute ago, so it'll be interesting to see how many Mink makes here.
3.
We saw your James Watanabe in the seniors, of course he's playing in that, and he was a standard bearer for snooker in Thailand at a very young age. As a teenager he emerged and played in one of the matchroom events in the 80s and very quickly became
4.
one of the top players in the professional sport. And that's what all these countries need, I guess. It's a flag bearer. We've seen it in the men's game with Ding in China, and maybe this teenager can do similar for snooker in Thailand. Well, she's caught the brown there, unintended, but it hasn't finished too bad actually.
9.
Yeah, she's just not got quite the right angle on this red. I'm wondering if she could perhaps screw it in on off the cushion and perhaps get on the black some way. But if she does certainly pop the black, there's a chance of making a valuable contribution here.
Ten.
Well, actually, she could play it delicately and hold for it into the same pocket that she spotted the red.
So this break started with a fluke, but in this hallowed arena in 1983, Cliff Thorburn fluked a red, made a maximum. So
17.
it's not necessarily about having the luck, it's what you do when you get it. She'll be determined to try and make the most of this chance.
$18.
Yeah, that was nicely done. She was slightly hampered with the red, but played a nice controlled cannon, and she's in a good position here to possibly take the opening frame from this visit. And again, she was hampered there, and I think she can just get to the centre of the cupola on this black, but she's just having to work a little bit hard to get into a good position.
She looks pretty relaxed actually. You know, you can forgive a few nerves. This is a huge occasion, but just concentrating on the 12 by 6, the table.
$33.
Well, she's kept this break going well. She's kind of never quite been in absolute perfect position, but she's kept on potting.
Yeah, that was a lovely shot, and I think she can just drop the pink in, and these 3 reds here down towards the bottom right hand pocket, I think they're all kind of sort of blocking each other, so just needs to get into the cupola into a nice position, and when she pops one red it'll obviously open the other 2, so if she can get that shot right, then that could be the key to the opening frame.
Yeah, and it helps as well. There's a red safe on the right hand side cushion, which she won't need. Reanne Evans will, as it stands.
Yeah, I think she was trying to can into the red sort of closest to the black there.
40.
Just misjudged it, so could be end the break here unless she plays something elaborate, but she's got a nice advantage here in the first frame, so she doesn't want to and Reanne an opportunity to get back into the frame.
Evans preparing to come back to the table. She's 42 behind as it stands.
Mink 40.
Well, a pretty solid 40 there to give her the lead in the opening frame.
Well, that was half a chance for Reanne, but she's got away with the miss. A couple of the reds are now in sort of semi-safe positions, but it's not beyond the realms of possibility that if one of these two, if Reanne was to get in, that she could get back into the frame in one visit. Looks as if Mink's sizing this one up, though.
Well, full marks for positivity. Just cannon this red, which is just off the left-hand side cushion, just giving Reanne Evans a chance here. So, as I mentioned earlier, there's one safe red on the right-hand side cushion, which could come to Mink's rescue here, but a chance for Reanne Evans to make the frame a lot closer.
Eight. 9.
That was a nice shot from Reanne. She was slightly hampered on that red.
16. Seventeen.
Well, it really does feel this frame is about that safe red, because all the
24.
colours are on.
Yes, I think her first objective was obviously trying to just get back into the frame. She just slightly underhit that though, so unless she sort of takes a black and brings it in and out of bulk, or sort of plays a crazy pink, it might be difficult to continue the break after this black.
Well, that was a handy kiss on the green. She acknowledged it.
32.
Yeah, I think the cube was sort of going nowhere there really, but that's a really nice sort of kiss on the green. So still going with this break here, Reanne. She's only 10 points behind, but still in play.
33.
Well, she's cannon the red as you see, but I don't think it pots to that yellow pocket.
40.
Yeah, that was a terrific effort to bring the red up. She's a little bit unfortunate not to leave a pot on, but as I mentioned, she is back into this frame, so I think a really good safety is the order of the day here, and try to put the pressure back on Mink.
Yeah, it's turned into a great frame actually. It's quite scrappy early on when pink and black were tied up, but it's 2 points in it now on the last red.
Reanne Evans, 40.
Evans will be now hoping that her experience in such a crucial moment in the frame will come to bear. All the years she's been playing, 12 world titles, remember. Well, if she's got the snooker, she's been fortunate. Well, we've had a lot of tense frames at the Crucible, haven't we, since 1977, and here's another one. Looks like she can just get through to the red.
Well, it certainly looks like a red ball game here. The yellow's quite freely accessible, the green's over the pocket. So you would suspect whoever gets pots this last red will have a really good chance to win the frame. That's pretty good. I don't think Reanne can get through the gap of the brown and yellow, so this is a bit of trouble for Reanne here.
Does not want to leave a free ball with the green over the pocket. It's a good hit.
Yeah, she'll be very happy with that outcome. Obviously, the green pockets, the green ball's blocking the green pocket, but Mink does have a chance here of perhaps laying another snooker beyond the brown.
Well, she's not got it, and she's looking with a little bit of concern. This could be about one good pot now. Yeah, she knew it. I think she knew that that red was, I'm not saying frame ball, but definitely a chance to potentially go on and win the frame. Yeah, it was another chance, but delighted with second prize. The point is, that green is waiting. Whoever wants to pot the red, that's virtually guaranteed.
Yeah, that's not bad. She'll settle with that. Just wondering though if she has left Reanne a chance at a long pot here. As you said, Dave, it's the green is sort of begging to be potted, whoever does pot this last red, so I don't think Reanne's going to turn down this opportunity. Well, she did. But it's got a good cue ball. Obviously realises how important it is, this last red.
Just joining us, just tuning in, this is the Women's Tour Championship live from the Crucible in Sheffield, the top 4 in the world doing battle this morning. Needs this to stop, needs it to stop. Well, it just shows you how fast this table is actually. On a club table that would have stopped, but kept on running, and she's left a chance for Reanne Evans.
One.
Got to take the green really. If she pots the yellow, the brown's in the way when it goes back on its spot.
Just under hit that green, and now she's wrong-sided herself on the yellow.
4.
So if she wants to go for the clearance, I think she's going to have to bring the cue ball back up and down the table for the green.
Six.
That's not bad. It's not ideal, but she needs a nice strike on this green, and should be the opening frame.
9.
Yeah, she struck that almost too well actually. She's left it a bit awkward over the blue.
Yeah, it's about the only part of the table there where it's actually turned awkward. She's got the rest out, so hopefully she's thinking that she can just cue around this, and she just, well, it certainly looks awkward.
Yeah, not straightforward. She still needs brown and blue here. Right in the middle of the pocket. It's a great shot. And she's plumb on the blue.
13.
Just checking the scores. She doesn't need the pink. Well, Mink from Thailand had a good lead in this frame, but Reanne Evans found a way back into it. It always seemed to be about the last
18.
red. It was left over that left middle for Reanne Evans. Would like this pink in, obviously, because it's only one snooker required. And in it goes.
24.
So the 12 times world champion came from behind in the opening frame of the day. Reanne Evans leads Nutcharut Wongharuthai by 1 frame to 0. Remember, this match is best of 3 frames, but if the tie were to level up, we would have a respot in the deciding frame. That would decide it. But Reanne Evans will be happy. She could have lost that frame, but she's won it. She leads 1-0. She needs 1 more, and she'll be through to the final.
The second frame. Mink to break.
Welcome back to the Crucible Theatre here in Sheffield. We're bringing you live coverage, of course, of the World Seniors Championship here on Free Sports, but also the Women's Tour Championship underway. We've got the top 4 in the world. Reanne Evans, the world champion, the world #1, has won the first frame. It was a bit of a thrilling frame, actually. Came down to the colours. Effectively the last red. She's up against Nutcharut Wongharuthai, also known as Mink, a 19-year-old from Thailand who led the frame. She had a 40 break, but in the end, a little bit of experience told, I think. And Reanne Evans is 1-0 up. It's first to 2 to reach the final. And the second semi-final is On Yi of Hong Kong against Rebecca Kennett, who's brought, I think, a coach load with her. She's a local from Keighley.
Yeah, I think Rebecca's got she'll have a lot of sort of vocal support here in the crowd. She is the local player of the event, so like I say, we'll see her after this match against On Yi. Yeah, it was a really sort of entertaining opening frame. I think both players made 40s, so that will settle them down and they get another opportunity to pick a scoring contribution in this frame. They, like I say, they are settled in now, so a little bit more familiar with the conditions and the table.
Yeah, and the other factor is definitely where we are here at the Crucible. You know, just the word sort of sends shivers through snooker players, snooker fans. Big occasion, not just to showcase the ladies' game, but to play here. That is not as intended, though, from Reanne. She winces. It's gone about as bad as it could from her point of view. She would like that one over again.
Yeah, she'd have that shot back again, but she has pushed the black a little bit safe, and the pink looks as if it's out of commission as well, so it might not be as bad as first looked.
It's pretty bad, though, I think. Yeah, I think the pink will go to the left middle. Reanne Evans just looking at the screen, not really liking what she's seeing. Problem is she's dead straight on the easy red. The black doesn't go to the left corner. She's not sure she can actually see the potting angle of the other red.
One.
So suddenly this pink feels like a big shot. Particularly, of course, it's only best of three. You didn't want to leave Evans in. That's nicely done. It's finished a little awkward, but good pot.
Seven.
Yeah, it was a lovely shot, but I'm not sure if she can continue the break or not here. Like I say, she's hammered over the blue, so looks as if she's just going to play thin off one of these reds here and send the cue ball back into bulk.
Mink 7.
So that horror show of a shot from Reanne Evans actually hasn't really costed too much, just 7 points. Well, this is another mistake, though. Just a slight stretch this, but this looks a better chance actually than the first one where it's just a little awkward.
One.
Yeah, we did see from a previous camera angle that the pink doesn't right hand pocket, but the black is free, so I assume she'll try and get on that black as soon as she can and bring that into play. And Mink's an example of a player who's only been sort of active on the scene over the last couple of years, but she's risen up to the top 4 in the world rankings. And it's very similar to Rebecca Kenno, who we're going to see later on in the event. It's world number 3. She's very consistent on the circuit. Lots of semi-finals, lots of quarter-finals. And it is an example of what can be done in a fairly short space of time, really.
5.
she's not yet won an event on the women's circuit, but reached a couple of finals, and who knows, today could be the time that she lifts her first trophy.
Marco, you work with the Women's Association. If there's anyone watching who
12.
seeing this fancies giving it a go, how do they go about playing in the tournaments?
I think it's important to state that the circuit is open to all players, all ages, all abilities. We are on Facebook, Women's Snooker. We're also on Twitter as well.
13.
Women's Snooker is worldwomensnooker.com is the website. Like I say, is available to all female players. Our next event is in September, actually, for the UK Championship up in Leeds. That's 14th to the 15th of September. I guess the issue is new players might look at this and look at the standard and might be a little bit intimidated about entering the events, but as I say, it is open to players from all
20.
abilities, and you are really welcomed into the sort of like into the family, the community. So, like I say, if you've got any questions about the circuit tour, get in touch with us and we'll be more than happy to answer your questions.
Yeah,
21.
who knows, one day you could be stepping out of this lovely venue. First Women's World Championship was held in 1976, and the Women's Snooker Association was founded in 1981 by Mandy Fisher, who's president to this day. And the women's game's been in various hands over the years, but last 4 years it's been under the auspices of the World Professional Billiards and Snooker Association, who, under the chairman Jason Ferguson, are really trying to push the concept of snooker for all. Tomorrow morning we'll see a disabilities event here. Obviously we know all the top professionals in the game, we see them on TV events, but there's a lot of snooker being played right around the world at all levels by millions and millions of people.
28.
Yes, I think people are going to be surprised with the disability session tomorrow, and these players you're going to see tomorrow, they can play, you know, they really can, and I know they're going to be absolutely buzzing for their Crucible appearance. And just going back to what you were saying, Dave, about the circuit the last sort of 4 years or so, the standard amongst the top players really is sort of increasing all the time. For example, at the recent Australian Open earlier this season, we had several centuries in the event. I know Reanne, I think, in the event made 137, and the next day, the following day, Onyi beat it. She made 139, which is the highest break in competition.
34.
So that's just sort of an example of what these players are capable of.
Yeah, those two have an interesting rivalry,
35.
I think, Evans and Onyi. I think, obviously, Onyi took the world title off Reanne Evans. Reanne's got it back now. They may play in the final later, but of course, Mink here doing her best to try and make this match level. She's 42 in front, although she had a similar lead actually in the last frame. If she does win this frame, remember, it's decided on a respotted black, the match. Not quite ideal in anything here, really. Just deciding between yellow and green. So, as I say, she was about this far in front in the last frame and eventually lost it. She, as I say, wasn't ideal positionally there, has missed the green. So she leads by 42. Some of her safety in this frame has not been to the standard she would like. You can see she's a little frustrated by it. Reanne Evans from a very strong part of the snooker world in the West Midlands, got into the game through her family. Whereas that was a good safety.
Yeah, that was a shot to nothing for Reanne there, but a good length of cue ball. Again, Reanne played that with an element of safety.
A long time over that. You could tell she knew it was a big shot. It was a chance to get in again, potentially win the frame. It's all a sort of learning curve for Mink. Obviously she's only really been playing in these events for a couple of years now, but she's made rapid progress. She's already been in a world final. This is where the length of the match will be on Reanne's mind, because she knows if she leaves a chance 1-1 and then it's decided on a respot. Well, it's a great pot though, it really is. So she's in, ready to counter attack.
could be a rerun of frame 1, couldn't it? I think, not sure if Reanne has got ambitions of clearing up from this visit, but she can certainly get back well into the frame.
Yeah, again, there's another slightly awkward red. This time it's on the baulk line. But anyway, she can make the frame a lot closer before worrying about that. Reanne Evans, who a couple of years ago beat Robin Hull in the World Professional Championship qualifiers. It's worth saying, I think it's important to say, there's no men's game, it's the professional game. Women have always been able to play in it, and have been women professionals in the past. Indeed, Reanne Evans was on the tour for a season. But if you think of the UK as the game's traditional base, it's certainly true that historically, go back to the old style snooker clubs, they weren't
15.
always that hospitable to women. And hence the participation levels weren't as high as they were for men. Hopefully events like this will mean that will start to change.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point you make, Dave,
16.
that female players in the past might not have had the same opportunities that they're sort of getting now, and you know, that's credit to women's snooker, the effort that they put in over the last few years, and changing people's views and perceptions on women's snooker. It's interesting that all 4 of the players you'll see this morning, they have played in Q School before. They play in you know, open events against male competitors
22.
quite often.
On experience as well. Right now, though, her mind is on this frame. Well, she was also playing the cannon to the other 2 reds,
29.
but the one she was going for didn't drop in. If it had done, there's a good chance, but as it is, Mink comes back to the table 13 in front, with a great chance now to level up. Well, it's out of her hands. This could yet be going down to a respot. Remember, if it's 1 each, then the decider will be a respotted black.
One. Mink, 1.
She'd be so disappointed. That was a good chance. Didn't get too close to the pot. A bit of pressure, I think, there came to bear. She knew it was an opportunity to make it 1 each.
One. Four.
I'm not sure Reanne was too happy with that. I don't know if she had a bad contact, but don't think it's too bad. I think she's got a... Obviously she'll have to use the rest, but she has got a little bit of angle she can play with here.
Well, this is remarkably similar, isn't it, to frame one, where, again, Mink was 40 odd in front, and in that frame it did come down to the last red, and it seemed likely to be similar here. Got to have a foot on the floor, or a toe at least.
Reanne Evans, 5.
Yeah, decided there was no value attempting a pot. Although she would have liked a fuller snooker. Just a slight swerve.
I think she's going to be happy with that outcome. I think experience played a little bit of a part at the end of the previous frame, so that's perhaps where Reanne would certainly have an upper hand in those sort of exchanges, but she's in trouble herself here with this snooker.
Well, you're absolutely right, she was, but what a fluke. That could be a match winner. Well, that'd be a sickener for Mink if that's effectively won Reanne Evans the match. She's got to put these colours away, but what a fluke. And we thought Mink had been fortunate fluking the snooker.
Yeah, well, it's like what you said earlier, Dave, wasn't it? That it's such a
7.
short format that you know, a slice of luck like that could be the decisive factor. And like you say, Reanne's got a really good opportunity now to clear up and take the match 2-0.
Yeah, snooker can feel like a crazy game at times, you know. She looked like she'd been unlucky to find herself snookered. Then flukes the red out the snooker. Points level
9.
then on the green, which means Reanne Evans needs down to the pink, including the pink. Still a little bit of pressure on these, and if she gets that far, the shot blue to pink, chance to go wrong with so much distance to cover.
12.
Yeah, I think the blue's just far enough off the cushion that she's got a little bit of space to play with here. It's not sort of tight on the cushion, and it is fairly close to the pocket, so she's just got to make sure that she gets enough angle on the blue to come down for the pink.
$16.
Doesn't want to leave herself a pressure pink, wants to just finish nicely on it, so this is the key shot now. Well,
21.
as I was saying, and in fact it's gone, well, in fact she's knocked the black a little safe, which isn't the worst outcome, but obviously she wanted an easier pink than this, but maybe just knocking that black to the cushion has slightly taken the pressure off. It's pink for victory.
Reanne Evans, 21.
So reprieve.
Yeah, I think that was personal choice about whether she was going to drop that into the middle or, like she did, take it long into the green pocket. But just wondering if Mink's got some sort of an angle here to get back down for the black. Like you say, the black is on the top cushion now, though, so it'll be a pressure shot on the black if she does get onto it.
Well, she did leave herself on it, but the pink didn't go in. So a second bite at the cherry for Reanne Evans in terms of match ball.
Yeah, I think she felt she had too much angle on that pink to sort of drop it in and hold for the black, so she tried to sort of cannon into the black and leave herself on it that way, but in doing so missed the pink.
Well, this is the hardest of the three shots she's had at the pink. Not taking it on for that reason. Double kiss, but it's all right. It's got very tense, hasn't it, this frame now? The factor, though, for Mink is where the black's finished. That was the one bit of fortune Evans had when the positional shot from blue to pink went wrong. She did at least knock the black safe-ish.
Not sure if that was sort of a half-hearted attempt at a double sort of come safety, but just wondering if what the angle's like on this pink, whether Mink can potentially sort of drop this in and stay on the black. It's very tough either way.
What a clock that is, bearing in mind she missed a much easier pink to the right middle earlier in the frame, so she needs this black, and we're going to a respot decider. A lot of pressure on this, though. But in it goes. Well, Reanne Evans had a couple of goes at the pink for victory. Wasn't to be. A terrific pot on the pink from Mink, and she's added the black as well, and that means that the decider will be down to a respotted black. Huge drama here at the Crucible, and as I say, they're not going to play a full decider, they're going to play a respotted black finish. This is the draw, so just to confirm, this is the first semi-final. The next match, Onye of Hong Kong against Rebecca Kenner, who's from Yorkshire, brought plenty of supporters with her. Yeah, I think pressure's now on Evans, isn't it? Because she did have a chance there to wrap it up. It was really that shot from blue to pink that went wrong.
Yeah, I think though overall, I think you know, a respot black is fair on sort of the balance of play, but you know, Reanne will be frustrated. She had a golden opportunity there. It was always trying to get perfect on that pink and just overhit the blue. But yeah, obviously it's a flip of a coin now.
Well, there's the men's draw. Of course, the World Seniors Championship will resume this afternoon, and some big names there: Jimmy White and Stephen Hendry. They're in opposite halves of the draw. I wonder if they could meet in another Crucible final. Of course, they played in 4 in the World Professional Championship, but Hendry's got a tough match actually against Darren Morgan. Jimmy's up against Stuart Watson, and you can see there Aaron Canavan, defending champion, against Leo Fernandez, and James Wattenart against Chen Gang. A great opportunity there. You know, there's legends there, but there's also players who've come through qualifiers, and we saw Stuart Watson last night. He beat Dennis Taylor. He was absolutely delighted, wasn't he? Gave it the clenched fist at the end.
Yes, it's a really good mix, isn't it? The last 8 there, you look there, and obviously, you know, that would be a dream final if it was Stephen and Jimmy come Sunday evening. But James has played really, really well in his open 2 matches. I think he made 113. Aaron Canavan, obviously defending champion, he was very impressive in his opening win yesterday. I think he made a 70 and 80 and a 60. So really, that is an open competition.
Well, that will resume this afternoon, but right now, the first semi-final of the Women's Tour Championship
It's not a respotted black, so.
will be decided on the respot.
Yes.
I think they're saying, you know, normally in a respot you toss a coin, but in fact, because it's not technically part of a frame, Reanne Evans, who broke in the first frame, is going to be playing the first shot.
Yeah, you don't really want to be playing the first shot of a respot, but she's played that pretty well. There's always a temptation of a double, but I'm not quite sure if it's a great angle. But Mink did come around to look at the middle pocket, so perhaps she is going to take this on.
Yeah, you're right. She had a look at the angle. Reanne Evans had a couple of goes at the pink for victory. They weren't easy by any means. That's a good shot. Keeping the pressure on. Oh wow, she's gone for the double, she's got the treble. It's another bit of fortune, you've got to say, for Reanne Evans. But she is the winner of the first semi-final of this Women's Tour Championship. What a thrilling match it was. Both of the frames were close, and in the end, she's trebled the respot. Reanne Evans, the world champion, the world #1, first into the final. And she will play either Onyee of Hong Kong or Rebecca Kennett, and that semi-final is coming up shortly.